I am Karen Fojas, the main programmer.
I am Alj Prilia, the assistant programmer.
And I am Princess Alaisa Ramila, the assistant programmer.
I am Nathaniel Emerudon. I am the assistant programmer for this project. I have written the overview and I've documented our paper while also ensuring the necessary data has been gathered while also being the researcher.
Our system objectives are: first is to develop a program that takes user input of their industry as well as real-time info and measured data for each parameter. Second is to implement a system that will determine if the measured water parameter met the effluent standard of Class C water bodies based on the DENR Administrative Order number 2016-08. Last is to provide a treatment suggestions and conclusion based on the compliance assessment results.
So this paper introduces a real-time compliance assessment tool designed to streamline the process of wastewater quality evaluation by leveraging Philippine regulations, mainly the DAO 2016-08 or the Water Quality Guidelines and General Effluent Standards of the Philippines. The core function of this program lies in its compliance assessment. By referencing a database of acceptable ranges for each parameter, the program compares the user-provided data against these limits. If a parameter falls outside of acceptable range, the program not only identifies non-compliance but also offers suggestions for potential treatment methods.
For methodology, numerous functions are implemented to the program. First, set of variable assignments was used to call out the used variable numerous times. Second, the input and define function is used for listing the inputs, including the name, the location, the date and time, together with a specific number of choices when choosing the list of industries and the values for required parameters. Third, to check if the inputted date and time are in given format, the len function was used to comply with the set let of data type. The if, then else statement function, together with the relational operators and Boolean variables, is used to set the date and time input as real-time and up-to-date values. And lastly, the list functions as tuples are used to store multiple items in a single variable for suggestions, parameters and their units with acceptable ranges, and the industry and its subcategories. The if then else statement is also used to check the maximum allowable value for each parameter, as well as the float function for the values, and while true function to manage the execution of each loop and avoid the code to be repeated indefinitely.
This flowchart shows the flow of how our program works. The process starts by initializing variables including a list of water quality parameters, industry categories, and dictionaries mapping categories to their subcategories. It then gathers users' information such as name, location, date, time, and water volume, and guides the users through selecting an industry and relevant subcategories. Based on the chosen industry and subcategories, the system retrieves a list of relevant parameters and prompts the user to input their values. This data is then used to assess compliance with water quality standards.
Sole proprietors, DENR accredited wastewater testing laboratories, treatment system designers like sanitary engineers, and students inclined with wastewater engineering will be the beneficiary of this program. For the system requirement, Microsoft Windows 7 or later and installed Python community and installed Pyroid for mobile users are the minimum requirements for running the program.
Start assessment bar is used to record all the necessary information of the user, including the name, location, date, time, and sample volume of the effluent. Wrongly formatted date and time will allow the user to redo and retype up-to-date and real-time formats. Choosing the right choice for industry type. After the necessary information needed, the user will be asked for choosing the right industries needed to be assessed. Entering the number of choice will allow the user to continue. Wrong input for industries. In the event that the user mistyped and made an error in choosing the selected industry, the program will allow the user to redo and input again the correct data needed.
For chosen industry, the user needs to know and input correct information about their industry category because different parameters are needed for each subcategory. And its subcategory, the user will be asked to input the parameter value that they get from the water sample. Record of assessment. Right after the user input the values for each parameter, a record of assessment will appear.
The results and suggestion will appear right below the record of assessment. The results will prompt if the parameter value is within the range of the DAO 2016-08 standard. If the values do not meet the standard and the acceptable values, the suggested process and system will appear for each parameter. Next is the compliance results. If the selected values of the needed parameters are indeed compliant, the program will prompt this kind of suggestion allowing the discharge of the wastewater. Then for the end session, by the end of the results and the suggestion, the user will be asked if they want to continue or end the assessment. Yes or no choices will be given to continue or stop the program.